us forward.
Good evening. Here is the news at 9. First, the highlights. Lagos State Government opens Okeko-Agumbiade intersection to traffic after completion of rehabilitation. Cooking gas retailers urges federal government to come up with policy to curb substandard cylinders. On the front, in North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles, escalating tension. In sport, Argentina defeats France on penalties to win Qatar 2022 World Cup. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State Government has announced the opening of the closed sections of the Okeko-Agumbiade intersection in Agege local government area for public use following the completion of flood abatement and rehabilitation of sections of the deteriorated road pavement. Commissioner for Transportation Frederick Oladeyinde said the road, which was temporarily closed to traffic in the past 2 months to allow for rehabilitation works including construction of concrete pavement and widening of road exits, has now been opened for public use. The rehabilitation and construction work, which were executed by the State Ministry of Works and Infrastructure and the Office of Drainage Services, has now increased the vehicular capacity of the intersection for improved traffic management of the corridor. Lagos State Government has announced that no child must be left behind and be denied the rights to education across the state. Permanent Secretary, Minister of Economic Planning and Budget Ibrahim Obajomo reiterated that the state government is committed to ensuring that education is accessible to every child, irrespective of socio-economic class or circumstances, as part of effort to ensure a better and secure future for the children. Speaking at a one-day training program organized for coordinators, supervisors and field officers on the out-of-school children survey, Obajomo said data that would be generated from the exercise will be beneficial in returning out-of-school children to the classroom. He maintained that lack of finance and other socio-cultural factors are some of the reasons some children are out of school. The National Emergency Management Agency has presented relief materials to 4,215 flood victims in 3 local government areas of Kano State. Director General Nema Mustafa Habib said the items were meant to alleviate the suffering of the victims. Habib advised the resident to adhere to the yearly precaution by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency on flooding to prevent future flooding. He also urged the beneficiaries to ensure judicious use of the items. Ekiti State Government has approved the disbursement of over 102 million as car loans to 280 workers in the state. According to Commissioner for Finance Akintunde Oyebode, it is part of the state government's commitment to workers' welfare, as the car loan initiative is geared towards ensuring efficiency of workforce in the state. He added that the government had as well paid 1 month's salary arrears to local government workers, just as he raised hopes of finding a lasting solution to the gratuity arrears of pensioners. And now to the rest of the stories. The liquefied petroleum gas retailers has urged the federal government to come up with a policy on standard gas cylinders as part of its LPG development plan. The association, which is a branch of the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, said such policy would ensure only standard cylinders were in circulation in the country and would prevent disasters associated with the use of substandard cylinders. The branch national chairman Chika Umudu said the policy should encourage massive importation and production of standard cylinders. The National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency has sent 15 vessels carrying hazardous materials into Nigeria back to their countries of origin. Its Director General Aliyu Jaro said the vessels were laden with chemicals and electronics harmful to the environment. He cautioned that government would not allow any importer to turn Nigeria into a dumping ground for hazardous materials. The Nigeria Police Force has warned Nigerians to shun acts capable of jeopardizing the 2023 general elections. Its public relations officer, Olumiwa Adijabi, noted that elections must be peaceful to produce the good governance for which Nigerians yearned. Adijabi called Nigerians to shun hooliganism, thuggery, vandalism, and acts that could affect free, fair, and credible election process. He advised politicians and their supporters to carry security agencies along for the later to help to manage their timetables so that there will not be clashes during rallies. In foreign news now, South Korea and Japan says North Korea has fired 2 ballistic missiles towards the sea off the Korean Peninsula's east coast, prompting South Korea's presidential office to strongly condemn Pyongyang for escalating tensions. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff says the 2 medium-range missiles flew about 500 kilometers. Japan's Vice Defense Minister Toshiro Ino says the missiles seem to have landed outside Japan's exclusive economic zone and there had been no report of damages. The presidential office added that the North's continued provocations and development of nuclear weapons and missiles would further endanger the North Korean regime. The North missile launch came days after the country tested a high-thrust solid fuel engine that experts said would allow quicker and more mobile launch of ballistic missiles as it seeks to develop a new strategic weapon and speed up its nuclear and missile programs. At least 19 people have been killed and dozens injured in a fire inside a road tunnel in Afghanistan. An oil tanker overturned and caught fire in the Salang tunnel, which links the capital Kabul to the northern provinces on Saturday evening. The blaze spread to other vehicles before it was put out. A senior health official in Pawan said some of the bodies were severely burned. The Ministry of Public Works said the pass had been closed to traffic while rescue operations were carried out. In sport now, Argentina has defeated France on penalties in a dramatic final match in the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. After 120 minutes of football, which ended 3-3, Argentina went on to win 4-2 on penalties to land their 3rd title. Kylian Mbappe backed a hit track while Lionel Messi netted a brace with Angel Di Maria also getting on the score sheet. The Abisadzi have now won a first World Cup title since their triumph at the 1986 edition in Mexico. Mbappe has now equaled England legend Jeff Hurst's record as the only player to score a hit strike in a World Cup final. And that's it on the news at 9. But just before we go, always drive within the specified speed limit. You can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on our website, www.trafficradio961.ng, and follow us on our various social media platforms at Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Also, you can download our app, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, from Play Store for more traffic updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration completed and commissioned the Mafoluko bus terminal? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos Lagos State government has announced the opening of the closed sections of the Okekutu-Agumbiade intersection in Agege local government area for public use following the completion of flood abatement and rehabilitation of sections of the deteriorated road pavement. The liquefied petroleum gas retailers has urged the federal government to come up with a policy on standard gas cylinders as part of its LPG development plan. We also told you that South Korea and Japan says North Korea has fired 2 ballistic missiles towards the sea off the Korean peninsula east coast, prompting South Korea's presidential office to strongly condemn Pyongyang for escalating tensions. And finally, in sport, Argentina has defeated France on penalties in a dramatic final match in the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to newsroom@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Bolanli Adibayo. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.